Welcome. Stories from the Seven Principles of Health as introduced to us in the Belief Roadmap by Matt Gersper and Kylene Elise Seuss. I'm Chuck Harlander. I had the privilege to be a guest on Matt's Something Significant podcast, where I shared my passions for teaching, our dog rescue, and the joy of running. After the podcast with Matt, I was very happy to have Matt Gersper come here to Sun Valley Magnet School, where I teach English. I was inspired by the talk Matt gave to my students. I used the Seven Principles of Health to create a unit of study for my humanities class. Each of the seven principles of health will be the theme for some stories and some experiences I'd like to share with you. The stories and ideas I will share are the times in my life when something larger than myself came across my path, and I made the wise decision to say yes. For example, the Foundations of Health came to my attention when Matt asked me if I wanted a copy of his book, The Belief Roadmap. I said yes. Sure enough, I opened the book, started reading, and I come across Matt reminding us to say yes to opportunities, to learn, to grow, explore, and go, even in the face of uncertainty. Say yes. When Matt shared Scott Berry's thought-provoking and very entertaining episodes of Blog Theater with me, I was motivated to sit down and start writing some of my thoughts. I decided the seven principles of health would create a good structure to work from. I'm so happy that it was Matt's turn to say yes. To start, I want to give some background and some context to my thoughts. We both went to Del Valle High School in Walnut Creek, California. We graduated in 1979, and we were beginning our exploration of life, heading into the 80s. After spending 4 tumultuous teenage years in Del Valle classrooms with disco dreams and Britannia jeans. I'm a teacher now, and I've been teaching for a long time. I know what great teaching looks like, and I know what great teachers look like. Del Valle teachers didn't always look like great teachers. We had an English teacher who had a rabbit running around in her classroom. We had a teacher who would close the blinds and lock the door when the principal came around. And we had a Spanish teacher. He would bang his head on the desk when the class got too loud. However, some of the teaching they did was pretty great. Example, Mr. Huff. Mr. Huff was the woodshop teacher. Let me tell you a little story about Mr. Huff. We filed into period 1 woodshop class on that first day of school, taking our seats on the stools around the thick work tables, vices on each corner. A slew of woodworking machinery was in the back of the woodshop classroom. I always enjoy the smell of fresh cut wood that we smelled entering that room. A trip to Home Depot, the lumber area, nowadays it's a pleasant memory of Mr. Huff's classroom. On that first day of class, Mr. Huff would start with a safety lecture that I'm pretty sure every woodshop teacher starts with. But Mr. Huff had a unique approach. He had artifacts. When the lecture came to the part about using the table saws and the band saws, he brought out 3 little jars, little baby food jars. Each jar had a severed finger in it, soaking in formaldehyde. Seeing those fingers floating around in those jars, sitting in the window of his office, that was a great reminder to keep our fingers out of the saws. Great teaching is shown when lessons learned are still retained 45 years later. Great lessons stay with you. I still remember those fingers when I'm using power tools, and I often refer back to Matt's books, The Belief Roadmap, Turning Inspiration into Action, because they too offer great lessons that stay with you. The first 4 important building blocks of a strong foundation are physical fitness, mental fitness, financial fitness, and spiritual fitness. A healthy body A healthy mind, financial security, and a connection to a greater force lays the foundation for a happy and significant life. As Matt writes in the Belief Roadmap, health is a daily practice, a journey, and a relationship with oneself and others in the world. Then, we have an episode on the foundation of love, and an episode about the foundation of adventure. The final episode, the foundation of significance. I thank you for taking the time to listen, and to wrap up this introduction, allow me to share a quote from another wise man, my grandfather, who began the family history with our Harlander family creed. Better than grandeur, better than gold, better than wealth 100-fold, are a healthy body and a mind at ease, and simple pleasures that always please.